Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this absolute bombshell that Alex Karp drops on this interview here just a few hours ago.
Camps and adoption levels.
Well, look, I mean, first of all, to your first, intelligent people learn from their mistakes and learn to realize when they made a mistake in the pattern. Everyone else becomes an analyst or an advisor. So, people have been saying we're overvalued for the last 20 years. People have been saying our products would make us profitable, that we would not be able to become a juggernaut, that we would not become GAAP profitable, we would not get on the S&P. And, keep saying that about us. We love it. It discourages people from doing anything like what we're doing, and we are winning. Now, why are we winning in U.S. commercial? Because we learned in the government that what makes AI valuable is the ability to manage algorithms or large language models. Every financial analyst wakes up in the morning and with notable exceptions that we really revere, wakes up in the morning and after they stay at Motel 6, they have a huge opinion about how to manage large language models. It's completely theoretical and idiotic. If you want...
I love it. After you waking up at Motel 6, you wake up with a huge opinion on how to manage AI large language models. Alex Karp basically coming out here saying to all the haters, hey, we've been overvalued. People saying that we weren't going to be profitable on our products. People saying that we weren't going to grow. And look what's happened. Look at the reality. Palantir is doing very well, establishing multiple partnerships. And we just saw recently with L3Harris. I encourage you guys to go watch this interview on CNBC. It's like 17 minutes long. I don't want to pick apart the whole thing. I want you guys to watch it for yourself. Very interesting. And it shows you the bullishness behind Palantir and the confidence nonetheless behind Alex Karp, a great CEO in my opinion. Now, talking about what's happening with Palantir, up about 2.2% in the day. We have a reversal in the market, closing at near these record highs. We're going to be talking about earnings for Palantir. It's coming up November 4th. What's the volatility going to be like? We're going to be looking at some historical data in terms of earnings, and also what could we be expecting. We'll be reviewing some information that Kramer came out about Palantir, and also a rebound in the market. Tesla has an amazing earnings report, boosting up over 22% on the day. What? One of the best days in the decade. We have a lot to break down. If you're a new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, not a financial advisor, collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now, pop it up quickly here. You can see on the chart, Palantir, like I said, closing near these record highs, basically at 43.56. Trading volume holding relatively consistent in about the mid 30 millions. In terms of options, just for tomorrow, you have a big call volume at the actual 44 strike price for end of the day expiration, 23,000 on that. Bullishness coming in here. This could be from the interview, of course, with the L3Harris partnership. And then in addition, you also have the volatility of earnings coming up. And that's talking about an interesting Motley Fool article talking about here, should you buy Palantir stock before November 4th? Now, November 4th is, of course, when earnings will occur. It's going to be happening post-market. Estimations, earnings per share at 9 cents, correlated with a 703 million revenue estimate. Now, basically what this article talks about is just zooming out on Palantir. We've seen it up about 150% on the year. Since August 5th, we've seen it up just this last few months, up 78%. And it's really been clear that Palantir has been a leading competitor in the AI SaaS industry, and talking about this price appreciation, doing very well. Now, remember, we have the election that's going to be November 5th, the day after Palantir reports their earnings, which means there's going to be a lot of volatility, eyes on the market, eyes in the political sphere. And talking about valuation, this article basically just goes in to say, hey, Palantir is very overvalued right now. Keep this long-term story in mind. We know that. Alex Karp just addressed that. It's always been pretty valued. People can keep talking about that, but we keep continuing to see Palantir grow in terms of the momentum that we're seeing behind in the AI boom right now. However, interesting point right here in this article is talking about looking at the trends in Palantir stock since going public in late 2020. And the purple circles here with the E actually indicate different earnings reports. Now, since the beginning of last year, shares of Palantir have generally rised following an earnings report. And this is an important idea to keep in the back of your pocket. I can agree there, just looking at historical patterns, because it really helps underscore the idea that Palantir stock has been consistent winner over long periods of time, talking about different opportunities to enter in here. Now, these are at basically all-time highs, so the risk for downside potential is still very high. Make sure everybody fully kind of get some comprehension with that. Any types of changes in the market could happen at any moment. Any major changes, we never know what's coming. However, historically, we're seeing after earnings, Palantir typically does pretty bullish. So, interesting chart to look at there. Especially, that's the question, is $50 here in the near future? You got Jim Cramer coming up here. We talked about this yesterday, but talking about hold on to Palantir, let them walk it up. And specifically, he's talking that I'm going to tell you that I would hold on to it as a spec and let them walk it up. He's just basically saying that there is no level that buyers won't take this stock higher. So a lot of bullishness, a lot of euphoria behind Palantir. And how does that react to the market? A very bullish day in the market. The S&P actually rises today with Tesla being a major lifter. You see the NASDAQ and the S&P up about 1% here, Dow and Jones slightly down, but bouncing back from a 3-day loss that has really been kind of going against what are these higher treasury rates that are rising in the market due to the economic resiliency. However, Tesla was the best performing stock today in the broad market after the vehicle manufacturer surged nearly 22%. Whoa. After posting third quarter results, we've seen Tesla on a downtrend, especially after the robotaxi event. Now, this is the best day since 2013. You also see Molina Healthcare here getting 17.7% on better than expected revenues. And we're seeing treasury yields that actually moved a little bit lower here, easing from 3-month highs. This is bullish as investors could be going back into the market. Now, it topped the 4.25% threshold on Wednesday at the high of the session. Now, a big pressure that's been on the general market is been on the side from the rates. We're expecting at least another 50 basis points of reduction by the end of the year. And by the next Fed meeting, the market has priced in about a 93% probability we're seeing at least a 25 basis point cut. That's being priced in as we speak. That's what the expectations are. If we see any changes from that agenda, that's where we can see volatility in the market. However, with Tesla coming in very well here, you can see, especially just on its price action today, if we can just find it on the chart here, up at 260 right now. Look at this shot, rocket to the moon, SpaceX style, that Elon Musk has just taken Tesla back up tier to this resistance point at 260. We'll see what happens in tomorrow's market regarding that. But from this bounce back down here to 217, if anybody got in some options trading on the bullish side, holy Toledo there, and some profits right now. With this Q3 earnings report, investors are very cheered here, and Elon Musk even came out to say on an earnings call that Tesla's volume growth could be 20 to 30% next year. They reported a revenue of $25.18 billion, but higher than it reported in Q2 at $25 billion right here. And specifically, a straight statement saying that they delivered strong results in Q3 with growth in vehicle deliveries both sequentially and year on year, resulting in record third quarter volumes. The company said on its actual earnings deck, talking about preparing for underways for new vehicles, including more affordable models, will begin launching in the first half of 2025. So, big bullishness behind Tesla right here. And Tesla said that it expects vehicles deliveries to basically achieve slight growth in 2024. Toggling over here to NVIDIA, another stock that we've been keeping up to date. They're basically sitting at about 140, also at record highs. Price targets are still very bullish for NVIDIA. Remember, they did have that delay in the Blackwell chip that caused a little bit of, I want to say, uncertainty, but we kind of knew that was already happening. I don't know why that came back up into the media talking about the delay of that as big blue chip stocks are trying to get their hands on AI and the AI race right now. But we know the demand, nonetheless, is going to only positively affect NVIDIA in the short term. That's my opinion, just due to a supply and demand type of simplistic perspective. And that's where we leave it with NVIDIA. So what do you think about that? Did you guys watch the interview with Alex Karp? You guys have any other remarks about it? Do you see $50 by the end of the year? Talking about disconnect from valuation. Do you think Alex Karp has a point there? Or do you think the stock is still too expensive? I want to know all your thoughts down in the comments. I will enjoy reading every one of them. Peace out. Take care. Have a wonderful night. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.